Well, hello there. Welcome to an episode of Toy Topics. This is where I just speak my mind on action figure related topics, since I really can't do that during my reviews. So let's try not to be soft and sensitive bitch-ass collectors. This is just my opinion, how I feel about certain things. And you can share how you feel as well in the comments below. I read and I like every single one, as long as you're not insulting or attacking anyone. And I reply as much as I can. I'm not here to change how anyone feels. I'm just speaking about how I feel. It's a wonderful time to collect these toys. A wonderful time to collect and enjoy. But if we look into my mind, what toy topics will we find? Of course, the toy topic, because what's been on my mind lately, it's whatever the HasLab is going to be for the GI Joe classified line. I want to like it. I want to enjoy it. I enjoy the classified line. But lately with QC and everything else, I got to be honest, I think they're doing something wrong, man. It's hard to get a solid wave out of them nowadays. I'm hoping that they correct course. You know what I'm saying? I'm hoping they get it together. But I'm just hoping, honestly, I'm hoping that it's not a VAMP. Come on, guys. This is my issue with HasLab. $1 billion company doesn't need to force you to pay for tooling for anything. But I'll be nice and say, hey, if they are going to force us to pay for tooling, at least make it dream projects like the Sentinel. That thing was massive. It's huge. It should have been even bigger, honestly. I don't think that it needed to be crowdfunded. It was a good cash grab for them. I understand that. But it's still way more dreamlike than a lot of other things. The Sentinel was bigger. Same with Galactus. Much bigger, much better, more dreamlike. A classified VAMP is literally a SUV/truck/ military truck, or whatever you want to call it. We have been here before with Legends. They did the same thing with a car. And this is my issue with HasLab. Some collectors don't get it. But the reason why I disagree with collectors taking that stance, which is, oh, it's no big deal, or you know what I'm saying, it's not that bad, or it's because crowdfunding by HasLab was first advertised as dream projects. The Star Wars sail barge, that thing was huge. It went from a sail barge to a standard car, similar in size to a bunch of other cars currently sitting on the shelves at Target and Walmart. Come on, guy. Are we really going to say that a car or an SUV/military truck, are we going to say those are dream projects? Are we going to say that those things wouldn't sell if they paid for tooling and, you know, it was just, we had to pre-order it on Pulse or Big Bad or online retailers? Are we going to really act like it wouldn't sell? Of course it would sell. But if the biggest toy company in the world is going to force us to pay for tooling, and by force, I mean, if you want the product, here's the only way to get it. That's what I mean by force. No one's putting a gun to our head and making us buy anything. But if they're going to force us to pay for tooling to get these products, at least make it on a dream project. Especially with how successful Classified has been, the His Tank wasn't a risk for them. That wasn't risky. They knew that was going to sell. They could have easily dropped the price, left out some of the bells and whistles, and paid for tooling themselves and had us order it. If it's not going to be risky and it's not a dream project, why the hell are we paying for tooling? We deserve standard vehicles for these lines as part of the line, not as dream projects with goals that we need to reach just to get them, and we should be lucky for, feel grateful, you know, that they're willing to take our money. And how do we feel grateful or lucky when we're the ones paying for tooling? Guys, let me know if I'm crazy. Will everyone be happy to get a truck, or should it be something bigger and better than a truck from Hasbro, HasLab, crowdfunding? I just think it should be bigger than a truck. I watch a lot of the same guys that are okay with Hasbro crowdfunding talk about how they missed the 80s and the 90s and how big vehicles was and the toys was back then. And come on, seriously? Guys, it's obvious you're hurting yourselves. As collectors, we're standing in our own way. They are never going to pay for tooling up front on vehicles because so many collectors are willing to do it for them. It's just like basic math. It's obvious stuff. Not to mention all the interest that they compile on the money and etc. that they get from these crowdfundings during that duration of time that they're holding on to it. Retro did an amazing video explaining that. But leaving that out, guys, what about a VAMP is a dream project for Hasbro, the biggest toy company in the world? If you're going to ask your customers to pay for tooling like you can't afford to make it a dream project for Classified. Make it crazy. I don't care if it's $800 or $900 that they're asking for. Make it a dream project. I don't care if it's $1,000. Give us the USS flag. That in scale, that's a dream project. Legends team. A dream project would be the X-Men X-Jet in scale. That's a dream project. not a car or a truck. Honestly, the His Tank shouldn't even have been crowdfunded. That's not a dream project. Once again, the sail barge versus these cars and trucks that they're offering us nowadays. And that's why sometimes I just sit back and I laugh to myself, especially with content creators like, yeah, it's a great deal. Yeah, it's a car. Yeah, it's so awesome. I'm like, dude, like, have you forgotten where it started versus where it's at now? It's like, it's continuing to get worse. Yeah, it would have been a great deal for a standard release. McFarlane standard released that gold label Batjet or whatever. If you didn't want it, that Batwing, if you didn't want it, don't get it. But he's not asking nobody to pay for tooling. And, you know, people wasn't praising them the way they praise Hasbro. Oh, the car looks great. I think it's a great deal once you add in all the stretch goals and bro, it's like obvious stuff here, man. We're getting the short end of the stick big time. But I bet it doesn't matter what they put out. Fans are so thirsty and starved for anything. It's going to fund. Let them do a vamp. It's going to fund in less than 24 hours, just like the His Tank. I'm going to pray that Hasbro is not dumb enough to do that, especially with Valaverse releasing a truck that is not going to be crowdfunded. And he stated multiple times he doesn't want to have to crowdfund. And he's a new company on his second year of releases. Those newer, smaller companies should be using crowdfunding. I feel like it's more acceptable for them to be using crowdfunding versus the biggest in the world like Hasbro and Mattel. And I would think it's fine for HasLab, the biggest toy company in the world, to do crowdfunding. I would think it's fine if we're talking about those dream projects. Dude, imagine a Fin Fang Foom similar size as a Sentinel. Oh my God, that's a dream project. Classified dream projects should be large command centers, the USS flags. Those are damn dream projects, not standard damn cars. Of course, Hasbro is going to continue to pay for tooling on the bare minimum. Drones and motorcycles. And if they throw flickering lights in a vamp, everyone will say, oh, it's worth it. Also, not to mention, they're going to start another vehicle crowdfund before customers even get the first classified vehicle in hands. You can't make this shit up. Cash Grab doesn't even begin to explain how they laugh all the way to the bank when it comes to their customers, yo. We don't even have the first one in hands, but they're going to start another one. If Valor puts this big ass truck out that holds 6 figures for less than $200, I'm just going to laugh my ass off. And that's me saying 200 because I'm guessing he'll be closer to the 200 range. Might be 205, might be 195, 180. I'm guessing he'll be closer to the 200 range versus closer to the 100 range or the 300 range. It just doesn't have the lights, but bigger than a car. If he can put that out for 200 or less, holy shit. Because it's more expensive for smaller companies to do stuff like that than the bigger ones, especially the biggest one in the world who plays bigger order quantities. I don't care about the lights. Every collector I know and talk to say they're nice, but we would rather have the damn vehicle on a shelf at a reasonable price. A price so we can army build without feeling like, damn, more than 1 or 2 is way too much money. The His Tank is an army building vehicle. Most people at least wanted 2. Similar to the Sentinel, that's an army building character. There's not just one in the cartoon, so people wanted more than 1. Majority of people got 2 that I know. If someone got 1, it's mainly because of the space and maybe because of the price. But realistically, people would have liked more than 1 of those characters and more than 1 of a His Tank. Val is a professional. He knows this shit. And that's why his line is so successful and it's growing so fast because he knows this shit. Any line like Valaverse that puts out value at a good price, oh my God, what do you know? The line is going to be successful. Like, it's, what a surprise. Like, he knows this already because I want to army build military vehicles in my collection. Whether it's from classified, Valaverse, I don't care. I just want good shit on my shelf. But of course, if I get a military truck from Hasbro, the biggest toy company in the world, I'm gonna feel like I'm getting got if I gotta pay, $250 or $300 plus for a standard truck that size-wise and shit is currently on the shelves at Walmart and Target right now. Like, of course I'm gonna feel like I got. And that's why I like the Valaverse line, because the person that's running the damn company pays attention. He knows what people want. He knows what they don't. He actually cares about the fucking customer. Well, a lot of these other companies, they don't. But now we also have Jada Toys throwing their hat in the ring with 6-inch scale figures now that's going to be available at retail. June this year in general is going to be interesting, especially for the bigger companies that are not used to competition, because they're definitely getting some now. And it's not just from each other anymore. Hasbro has more to worry about than Mattel, or let's say a little bit smaller McFarlane. They have more to worry about now, especially with these third-party companies or just smaller companies in general, like Valaverse, like Jada Toys, Ramen. There's a lot happening right now. A lot happening, and we're going to have Savage Crucibles also in hand this year. I am so interested to see how all of this is going to play out. I just want to see and feel the quality for myself firsthand. It better not be a VAMP. I'm saying it better not be like anything that I say actually matters. It doesn't. I'm just expressing my opinion and how I feel. But you know what I mean. It will be extremely disappointing to me if it is, because once again, I want the classified line to do good. I buy classified figures, but at the same time, I'm not a fool either. I'm disciplined with my money, and I'm already making more conscious decisions as far as being more selective when it comes to action figures in general, especially from the bigger companies like Hasbro that is having QC issues and distribution issues like left and right. I'm already being more selective. And if they do the VAMP, right, what is it going to be priced at? 300 as well, 350, because the His tank was, I believe 300. So the VAMP is much smaller than a His tank, right? But the Hasbro defenders will say, no, the economy has changed so much in a year or two. And I got heat for saying a statement before. I'm watching the slaves defend the slave masters. That's literally what it's like. Yo, I shit you not. I love classified. You guys know I love Valorverse figures. If Valor puts out that truck for over $250, oh man, and like I said, my words fall on deaf ears because that man knows what the fuck he's doing. But I watch so many other people die on that Hasbro, defend Hasbro hill, and I'm like, why? For what? I don't know what Valor is gonna price his truck, but I guarantee you, every company that's doing any type of vehicles, from McFarlane to Hasbro and Mattel to smaller companies like Ramen, they all will be paying attention to what that price is going to be, because that price is going to set a bar. I guarantee you. But I don't think it's going to have lights. But even if it doesn't have lights, we can compare. I don't know anybody, including myself, that wants to pay an extra $150 for some damn lights or a figure. We want the vehicle at an affordable army building price so we can have more than one in our collections. These are military-based lines around army building. Yeah, some companies understand this army building logic when it comes to figures of vehicles. Seems like Savage Crucible does, Four Horsemen, Valorverse, now Jada Toys. And I'm not saying Jada Toys is army building right now. No, I'm saying good price, good scale, good accessories, and good articulation. It seems like they understand that. Hasbro, on the other hand, specifically HasLabs, Hasbro, when it comes to crowdfunding, are they paying attention to what their customers actually want? Look, they've had more successes than fails, and I'm happy for that. Like I said, if a major corporation has to crowdfund, then hey, I just make it dream projects at least. But lately, it just seems like to me lately, they are struggling, and they have been struggling for a while. Like, I don't know what's going on over there. Like I said before, they should stop laying off, probably some really good employees. And, get rid of the people that they actually need to get rid of. But they've been struggling. That's the point. And the L's and the losses has been hitting hard, even in terms of just QC when it comes down to their figures. I want to read what y'all think the classified HasLab is going to be. What do you want it to be? What will you be disappointed in it being? Do you think Valorverse is going to come in at less than $250? Because, he's looking at what other companies are doing too, right? When he sees the prices that they're charging. So do you guys think it's going to be less than $250 for that big ass truck? For a bigger vehicle, all it's missing is the lights. And if you check YouTube, those lights, they're $10 lights. Man, everybody's putting lights in the McFarlane Batmobile. Them shits cost $10. So I'm super interested to see how June is going to play out with Classified, with Valorverse, just in general. We're living in the greatest time ever for action figures as far as variety, selection, and accessibility to any action figure around the world because of the internet. But let me know in the comments below what y'all think about how I feel. It's just how I feel. I'm not saying no facts here. I didn't break down any numbers. I didn't do none of that during this video. Do you agree or disagree? If so, that's fine. I like hearing different perspectives and opinions. In conclusion, HasLab is for dream projects, not trucks and cars. Dream projects. That's how I feel. Let me know if you guys agree or disagree. And I don't want it to be no damn VAMP, aka a military truck that another company is about to give us without crowdfunding. And can paying customers get the first classified HasLab before you start wanting money from them for another one? That's literally just how I feel. Either way, we're all collectors, and I'm ready for June. I am ready for June. I want to see what these reveals and what these prices are going to be like. I appreciate you guys, man, so much. Especially all you guys that take the time to like and leave a comment. Well, that's about all the thoughts I have on today's topic. And until the next episode of Toy Topics, remember, no matter what you collect, how you collect, just have fun collecting. No matter what you collect, how you collect, just have fun collecting. Sometimes I just miss the world before the internet. GI Joe, classified, Marvel Legends on my mind, Valorverse and NECA time, Mythic Legions I must find, SH Figure Arts I can't lie, Reveltech got my pockets dry, Set action figures for life, Articulated Ninja is nausea, you might wanna subscribe. Action